up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling Pulse on Double Partner Quad. I am J-Man. On this edition, I'm going to give you guys our Pulse Topix show. Haven't done one of these in about a month or two or three, or I don't really know how long. I was looking back at our videos. I was like, I haven't done one of these. Why don't we get one of these out for you guys? This one really
before the snowstorm of 2015 hits.
Yeah, snowstorm right before we on our trip to Chicago. God damn it, me and my fiance going, and of course there's got to be a snowstorm right whenever we're getting ready to go to see Stick to Your Guns, which is going to be fucking amazing. So not to just go to Chicago alone, but to do it for that reason. It's going to kick some ass. So yeah, everybody should go out and pick up their new album, Disobedient. Do it right now. Leave our video. I don't care. Go do it.
We're right on iTunes while you watch our video?
Yeah, there you go. Listen to it, like, where you could hear both. That's where it's at right there, son. Shit. This one's pretty much going to be a all WWE Topix edition.
There is no other company.
I mean, there are, but, you know, the other one is not on my television anymore, and really I'm not too concerned about. And then the other one, which we have tickets to go see, which is Ring of Honor in June, which we're really excited about, and their 13th anniversary show coming up in March. Beginning of March should be really good, and we'll probably be giving you guys a review and preview for that one. So be looking out for that come the end of this month. But yeah, this one's all going to be pretty much build to WrestleMania topics show. We're going to have a little WrestleMania discussion at the end of it, and kind of break off some individual people at the beginning of it. First one, going to be talking about Sting. Sting coming into WWE in November at Survivor Series, which we both attended live in our hometown of St. Louis. Had the whole gang there. Robert didn't die after Sting came out. We all thought there was a good chance he might have a heart attack and just keel over and be that.
There's a bunch of sticky stuff around him.
There was. I don't really want to go into what that probably could have been. I don't want to investigate into that, but there was some residue left over. But yeah, coming in, obviously it's such a big, name coming into WWE for the first time ever that a lot of people were looking out for and saying, this is really one of the guys that hasn't been into WWE yet as far as the bigger names in wrestling history. And obviously with all this stuff that went down with WCW and how loyal he was to WCW and going over to TNA and then finally coming to WWE. Obviously it's such the bigness feel of his character and the portrayal of his character, the mystique behind it and everything. Everybody was so intrigued to see how he would come off in WWE's world, where they just turn mystique into just godliness. I mean, they turn it into such bigness. You look at the Undertakers, you look at the Bray Wyatts. I mean, they're just the bigness feel of the mystique of their characters is just turned to the nth degree. That's just the WWE production level and how they treat their characters and how they treat their performers and how they portray them on TV and live, atmosphere. It's just they make them larger than life, and that's really with a lot of their characters, especially with these type characters. And that's really something that is starting to be shown here with Sting. We saw it on this previous Raw where they had him accept the offer from Triple H going into Fastlane for their face-to-face encounter that they're going to be having. They had the little production in the video and changing Tripp's face into Sting's face and kind of change shit. At least they're giving him the due that I don't think he really got with his debut. I think the debut was good. I think it was really one that you're definitely going to look back upon. But for me, I guess I just built it up to see what they always do with the Undertaker WrestleMania, or what they've always done with the Undertaker's character, period. That is, WCW, that was their Undertaker. Sting was the guy, the mystique, the character, and he was the backbone of that company. And for me to think, like, well, God, if he ever goes to WWE, it's going to be fucking huge, for one. And it's going to be portrayed as something really badass, really significant, and really that mystique, like, just turned to the nth degree. And I really don't think it was pulled off to the nth degree at Survivor Series. I think it was cool, and I think it worked. The setup was there. We still, and the thing that I'm loving about what they're doing with this character is they're making him feel special, and they're not having him each week. They're not week by week you see Sting. It's one of those things where when you see him, it's special and it matters. And it's usually to build to something more special and more meaningful. So I really like the way they're doing that. They're making them they're using him just like The Undertaker, to where he doesn't come out here and there like everybody else. He's used special. He's used as an attraction, unlike what TNA did, which is, I think, a really big problem with what is going on with Sting now is because of how much his legacy was a little bit tarnished, and probably would be a lot of it tarnished when it comes to him going to TNA and the overuse of him and the not using him like an Undertaker. They did it with Flair. They did it with Hogan. They didn't use their big, huge stars as attractions. They used them as everyday, here or there, type talent. When if you think that, okay, we need to get them out on TV as much as possible because if they are shown, they're going to bring eyes in and they're going to make people watch our show. But if you see him and then you're like, well, we haven't seen him in a while, it's something special here about this guy because it's big when he comes out. Because if you use a hunky-dory here or there type talent and use him here or there, you're going to fucking forget about him. But a Sting, a type character like an Undertaker, a type character like that, you use him here or there, it's special, it builds the mystique, and I think that's what they're doing, at least here in WWE. I like to see the production level obviously continue with his character, which I think is cool. People are shitting on the whole fucking the fake Sting thing. Everybody's like, that didn't even look like. It wasn't meant to look like him. It was just meant to be part of the fucking thing, the gimmick they were trying to get over and scaring Tripp and all this kind of shit. It wasn't fucking supposed to be used as him. People are fucking so retarded. Because they showed him in the crowd, and then they showed him coming in the ring, and they showed the video and everything. So I think the mystique that they're using with him is really cool. The build to I'm extremely intrigued to see what's going to be happening at Fastlane with Tripp and Sting. I think that's kind of cool. I hope they don't have him talk that much. I hope it's very meaningful, to the point, this and that type thing. They don't have him go out there and overmeet his welcome. I don't think they need to do that because again, don't want to water it down. Keep it special going into WrestleMania, and obviously the match that looks like it's going to be going down with him and Tripp going into WrestleMania. So, liking what they're doing so far. I like the mystique of it. I like how they're building him up as that special type talent and how they're using him so far. But it should be interesting to see what continues to go on with the man they call Sting.
Like J-Man said, with the whole Sting thing and how he debuted at Survivor Series, it was more of a, I don't know, like, with technology nowadays, I know I'm going to beat a dead horse some more. With technology nowadays, and everybody has to know everything ahead of time, it wasn't that, we all had a feeling it was going to happen.
Sure.
So it wasn't as, it was exciting, yes. Seeing Sting live for the first time ever was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And having to protect myself, too, from Robert. But whenever everybody knows what's going to happen today, it's not as fun and it's not as exciting as wrestling was back when we were growing up.
Right.
But having Sting in WWE and having him gonna wrestle at a main event at WrestleMania, hopefully main event or sub-main, is pretty much what everybody's been waiting for since he left WCW and went to TNA. Who he was wrestling has been up in the air for years because everyone wants to see Sting and Taker because, like Damon said, Sting was WCW's Undertaker. But with the way they have him portrayed is just the cryptic, the Sting and the Raptors of WCW, and that's what they need to continue doing. I don't want to see him come out at Fastlane or Fast whatever, it's in February's pay-per-view, they'll be here, and start talking. I think that will not give us the old Sting atmosphere that everybody wants. I think he should come in, have his bat, even if he shows.
Yeah.
Because they're, like J-Man said J-Man has talked about this because I screenshot and I was like, this does not look like Sting. Literally, I thought it was Seth Rollins just fucking Tripp, which would have been brilliant. But J-Man said back in WCW, they had Sting, fake Stings come out and do that. And that would be brilliant if they did that at Fastlane because it would piss off Tripp. That would make WrestleMania so much better because, like J-Man said, we don't see Sting every week like they did in TNA. And I think that first, like J-Man said, killed his legacy. Second, probably tore up his body.
Yeah.
Because he's wrestling all these house shows and all this other shit where he should be just main event here, and if they need him for special appearances, maybe.
Right.
But they probably just tortured his bodies, and he's not that young anymore. His body does not bounce back like they used to.
Right.
I'm intrigued to see what they do. It'd be brilliant if they just kept him away until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If they had all these fake Stings or did fake, if Tripp was out there and they did, the promos or, his music and nobody came out or dropped a bat or dropped a dummy or something pretty much rehash what they did in WCW now because everybody will fucking flip shit.
Right.
And if you keep it on the DL because if nobody sees Sting, no one's going to think he's there and ejaculation.
Right. Yeah, that's really the big thing is the not overdoing it and not making it to where it's too much. Because that's, we could go on and on about what they did in TNA and how, having to get them out there and just to be out there type thing. And that's what they did with Hogan. That's what they did with Flair. I would love to see. It would have made it 10 times better if he obviously would never have gone to TNA and had this long-ass layoff and then have him come in, or if he'd have just came in right out of WCW and they would have did, the invasion that everybody wanted to see with the bigger names of the Hogans and the Goldbergs and the Stings and type, those type people, which they weren't able to do. But yeah, I think it's a good build. I think it's going to be, and I definitely think the match, which we'll get into more when we get into the end of this discussion, I think at a WrestleMania, I think getting him in there with the Triple H, who is a guy who is just every WrestleMania that he's been used at now, he's the special type attraction that they've been doing, just like an Undertaker over the past couple of years. They've been doing that with Triple H, has put on amazing quality work in every single match that he's been on. I really think the shittiest one that we've seen was the one with Lesnar at SummerSlam in 2012. That's the worst Triple H. I mean, everything else is fucking 4 stars and above over the last fucking 3 years. I mean, that's great quality when you're getting in there. And if you get them in a right position, now where Tripp's not to where Undertaker is, to where he's used the very sporadic only WrestleMania things, he's getting him now. And if you carry that on you could do that for 5+ years. I mean, with Tripp at the age that he's at and in the shape that he's in, God, he's in fucking great shape for where he's at in his career. So I mean, I think it's going to be quality stuff when we get to WrestleMania, but we'll talk more about that when we get into WrestleMania.
And if TNA actually did what WWE's doing with Tripp and Taker and all them, fuck, Sting could be in so much.
Right.
He's not in bad shape now, but he could be so much
Well, I think that's one of the things they wanted to kick into him, because the last couple years that he was in TNA, he was wrestling in T-shirts, and you're not going to see that at WrestleMania.
No.
If he's in a goddamn main event type match with Triple H and he's in a goddamn T-shirt wrestling that shit, he's been, and from what we saw lately, he looked in a lot better shape, and I think that's one thing. He wanted to whoop his ass and get his ass into shape because, he's finally getting to the big time that he deserves. I mean, he deserves to be in a WrestleMania type atmosphere, because that's what his character was. That's the effort that he's put in throughout his entire 25+ year career. I mean, he deserves to be in that, and he's the type guy that's going to build himself up to be ready for that spot. So, intriguing to see what's going to be continuing going on with Sting. I'm liking where it's going so far. It should be good stuff to come. Speaking of good stuff to come, every single time this man is on television, me and Quaddy are texting back and forth because of the preparation that this special type shit that could be happening going into the future and happening at WrestleMania. This is the guy that, well, in most of our cases, for both of us and all the other Pulse guys, is the man we pay attention to probably the most.
No. Robert doesn't like
him. Oh, that's right. He thinks he's
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty ripoff. Right. I think now he wants to be world champion, though. Did you see that video? I think now he wants to be world champion. Now he does. It's the man that we focus on a hell of a lot, that we pay attention to, that we turn the volume up a couple extra fucking, I don't really know what to say, a couple extra notches whenever he comes out here, and especially lately with the promos that he's been cutting. And that man that we're talking about is Bray Wyatt. Obviously one of our favorites in all of the business, and has been since day one, since he's come in here, and finally starting to look like the progression and I really don't know how to say this, the evolution of his character is kind of going to come to fruition here. It's going to come to the forefront, and this is going to be the guy that's going to take the torch of Mystique and of the mysterious and interesting and intricate type characters into the next 10 to 15 years into the future. With the setup that's been happening lately, it looks like this could be a build-up to Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker, possibly happening at WrestleMania. It's really been the discussion over the past couple months that this is the one that they've been wanting to build to. And really, with the promos they've been cutting, or the promos that Bray Wyatt has been cutting lately, the build that he's been working up and getting solid, incredible wins, the great performance that he had in Royal Rumble, eliminating Daniel Bryan and making it a lengthy way through there, and the evolution of his character, the kind of, it feels like it's just such a natural progression that's happening with him, and to get to a stage that I think their mindset and our mindset, which is fully behind it, which is making the new, and I don't want to say the new Undertaker because he's going to make it his own, but as far as the new guy that's a little off kilter, a little, left of center, it's not the guy that's, the one that you look at. It's the guy that's over in the shadows and over in the corner is the one that's lurking and that's always going to be there. And that's what Undertaker always was. He was the guy that, you have your little cookie cutter guys, and then you have all right, this guy's otherworldly and this guy's one of a kind. And that's, there's never going to be another Undertaker ever in the history of professional wrestling. It's just such a perfect timing type situation with the perfect guy and the amazing character, which is the greatest character in the history of professional wrestling, bar fucking none. And to a guy that pulled it off flawlessly for 20 fucking years. But this is going to be the new age of that type character. This is going to be the dawning of a new mystique, of a new different type guy. This is the guy that they want to be that guy, and this is the guy that can be that guy, because we fully are behind what they're going with here and what they're thinking about as far as the progression of his character and what it's going to finally culminate in. And I think that's what they're trying to get behind. And if this is what they deliver us at WrestleMania, a matchup between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker, our eyes are going to be fucking glued to that television screen, because we are going to see the birth of a new age and a new star that's going to carry that Undertaker type character torch of the mystique and the really great character that we miss so much, in professional wrestling. Everybody's, kind of cookie cutter here or there, or very having to play a character. Bray Wyatt isn't playing a character. He is Bray Wyatt. I mean, he is it, and he lives and breathes it, and that's what The Undertaker does. He takes his shit very seriously. He always has throughout his entire career. And if you listen to any interviews or promos or anything that Bray Wyatt ever talks about, on screen, off screen, he cares about what he's doing, and he knows what this means and how big this is. This is going to be, if this goes down easily, Bray Wyatt's, biggest opportunity to be. It's so hard to kind of describe what they're going to get over here, but I think if they get it over, I think it's going to be fucking awesome, and I think it's going to be something that is great to see with what they're putting behind some of these newer guys, and to build this up, I think is going to be some really great stuff. And I think they've wanted to get those type characters in there, but I don't think they've put them on the right people, and I think this is a situation where they got it on the right guy, and I can't wait to see it happen if it does happen, because goddamn, it's going to be fucking amazing for us, hopefully match quality wise, if Taker's in good shape, which I've heard he's not really in good shape. So I know the setup is there, the build with him as far as in-ring stuff has been going is there, and it looks like it's continuing to get on that path towards a Bray Wyatt and Undertaker encounter at WrestleMania, which would be fucking amazing. And the promos that he's been cutting have been fucking flawless, have been outstanding. Just can't say enough, and can't wait to see this hopefully go down and the build to get it, because God, when that fucking confrontation comes down here and we finally get a face-to-face or some sort of interaction with these two, it's going to be fucking magic. Because, God, if there's anything that The Undertaker can still do this age, it's bring the moment, and it's bring the atmosphere, and especially after coming off a loss and ending the streak. God damn, the first time we're going to see him, it's going to be fucking huge. And, God, this just... I can't get over how much I've just loved everything that Bray Wyatt has been doing. I'm loving that they're getting behind him and they're finally going with a guy and making him the guy that is going to be that next type character. And just want to quote all the fucking lines he said. I can't even remember. Used to be the face of fear, and now fucking, what did he say or something? Now I am. Find me. It's like, Jesus. God, just can't wait for this. Hopefully it goes down. But Bray Wyatt, just can't say enough of how fucking brilliant his character is and how the progression has been going down. But Jesus, God, just can't fucking wait for this to happen if it does go
down. When we saw Taker's streak end last April,
yep.
On our way back, we all sat and talked, and it kind of really took us 2 or 3 days for it to actually sit in that Undertaker actually lost at WrestleMania, and then Brock Lesnar the way he did, and we talked about who would he face and where it would make sense. We all tossed around the idea of the Trips, the other older guys, the guys that he's wrestled before, the Canes. And then we start thinking of newer guys, like the Cenas that he's really never wrestled. had a little feud, but not that much. Maybe having a Daniel Bryan or something. Then we all thought about Bray Wyatt. And just the conversation started picking up because we all started bouncing ideas off each other. And when you're in a car for, 13 hours, 14 hours, with Robert driving 16 hours, we all started bouncing ideas off each other how it would make sense. And then it kind of just got pushed underneath the rug when Taker hasn't been seen. And then Bray Wyatt started cutting these promos. And me and J-Man, like he said, we've always texted about the wrestling stuff when I watch Raw on Tuesdays. It's just the way he set it up is like he's literally tossing the ball to Taker and being like, if you want to hit it, hit it. If you don't, please move on. And like J-Man said, the way Bray Wyatt's character is set up, it's him in a wrestling ring. And a lot of these characters in WWE are day and night from their actual real life person, like outside life. And there's a handful of people there are actually the same person inside the ring and outside the ring. If you listen to some of their interviews they do, like the CM Punks, the Daniel Bryans, and the Bray Wyatts. To name a few, because everybody else doesn't matter. But if you get somebody that involved into their into the ring and what they want to do and how they want to make it better, Bray Wyatt is the cryptic one. He's been doing this, and he's literally been telling everybody, all you sheep out there, you guys are a bunch of sheep, and if you don't like it, listen to me, and I will tell you what you guys do. How you follow John Cena when he's the hustle through fucking whatever, and then you follow these fucking guys that don't need to really be followed because it's just like they're fake. And then Bray Wyatt's like, here I am. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, here I am. And whenever these promos set up and how they are, and like J-Man said, Taker's still going to bring the atmosphere. Even if he's 100 wins and no losses, he's still going to bring that atmosphere to a WrestleMania just for entrances. And that's one thing I cannot wait for, is these entrances they're going to come out with. Because just look at the one from last year with Taker with all the caskets, and the one with Tripp from last year, and the one with Bray Wyatt with the live band, and Orton with the live band, and all the other ones. It's like, oh my god, how are these going to set? And then when they get to the ring, that's just going to be another fucking 12-star match. Just alone, just the way it's all set up. And it's all just building blocks into building Bray Wyatt into the next star of WWE, and we're all waiting for it. Some of us didn't have faith in him at the beginning. Some of us questioned his whole gimmick. And now since he's the Wyatt family kind of split up, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's a lone wolf. Now his promos are even better because he doesn't have anybody else to drag him down. Type stuff. He's a lone wolf, and his promos are just more cryptic and more, I'm alone, I'm here by myself, here to listen to me type stuff. So
yeah.
Coming up, these next couple promos, I will literally sit and watch his promos twice just to listen and get everything out of them. Because if you speed through them, or if you read what he says, it's not the same as listening and watch his body language and the creepiness the way how he uses his body and just different how his eyes are and how he moves himself to make it look more cryptic. And that's just the great Bray Wyatt and how great Bray Wyatt is becoming.
Yep. Yeah, just gonna be great stuff to come, and can't wait if that finally goes down. The build alone is going to be fucking insane. So hopefully that does go down and we see that in the months to come, or a month and a half to come, because WrestleMania is at the end of March. So should be some good stuff. Hopefully that does go down, because that would be some fucking, gotta be nuts. Next up here, we're kind of just going to do just a big WrestleMania discussion. Basically, we just got a whole bunch of shit listed here of what has been talked about going on, what is probably going to be going on. Bunch of names, bunch of different shit kind of going on here. We're kind of just gonna free ball it here and just fucking run shit off the top of our heads.
We don't free ball it usually.
We're not. No, that's true. We do. That's pretty much. This is gonna be like a car ride discussion, like we were just talking about.
I never wear underwear when I'm on the show.
That's scary. That's what that smells, Ben.
That's why when we play hockey and my hands get all sweaty, I just wipe my balls.
There we go.
Here we go.
That's solid. That's quality right there. The big thing here, obviously, going into Fastlane is the matchup between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. They did it again. It hasn't come full circle to where they're totally changing everything yet. This talk is possibly making it triple threat with Bryan, fucking Reigns and Lesnar, or just keeping it the same with Reigns and Lesnar. But God, just 2 years in a row at Royal Rumble, you fuck up and make the obvious wrong decision, not going with Bryan last year, and then not going with Bryan this year after the comeback and everything, with just how hot his character is and just how he's just by far the most over person in WWE and has been the last 2 years, if not longer. And going with an unproven, unprepared, and not even close to ready Roman Reigns. It's just fact. I mean, we can't say any more than what we've already said about a Roman Reigns. He's put in a position, he's been shoved down our throats, he's blah, 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 blah. Fucking story goes on and on. Everybody knows about it. But that's what they're putting there, and that's what, right now, it looks like we're getting. Could be a lot of different things going down here, for sure. We talked about, could just keep it with Reigns and Lesnar, could do the triple threat. There's talk about turning Reigns heel. There's talk about turning Lesnar face. There's been talk of putting Paul Heyman with fucking Roman Reigns and breaking off against Brock Lesnar, a la what they did at Survivor Series in 2002 when Heyman turned on Lesnar with the Big Show. So, I mean, who knows? With what they were setting up with that promo on the Snowed Out Raw, where they weren't able to do it, and they did it just a bunch of promos and stuff, where they had Heyman talking great about Reigns, talking up his family heritage and this and that, and how much he thinks potential he has and this and that. So I mean, the setup is there. I think they kind of did it as a thing they could go back to if they want to do that type thing. To me, I think the biggest thing about adding Bryan into the main event, obviously it's what we want to see. We want to see Daniel Bryan as a world champion, obviously. But I read from what Vince said, which is the same thing that I said a couple weeks ago, which is they don't want to do a rehash version of what they did last year. They don't want to have a repeat. They don't want to see the same exact situation and just a duplicate of what happened, especially being in the exact same type situation in a triple threat match where he had to earn himself back into the main event. It just, to me, I just don't think it's a WWE type thing to do. Would I want to see Daniel Bryan as world champion? Absolutely. But to me, I just feel like that's not the route they're going to go. I don't see them doing a rehash version of it. I see them delivering fucking Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar as the main event. As shitty as that fucking sounds and as terrible as that fucking sounds, I don't see them doing a rehash version of last year and adding Bryan in to make it a triple threat for the title in the main event. My hope is they don't make it the main event of WrestleMania unless they have a Seth Rollins cash-in, which is, Jesus fuck, is what we were all hoping for. Because, God, that would be fucking amazing. First ever cash in at WrestleMania. I think would be some great stuff. The problem with that, obviously, you got Rollins as a heel and obviously Reigns as a face. Who knows if they flip it? Maybe they turn a Seth Rollins face and then have Reigns heel by that time. Who fucking knows? Maybe they do the double turn around Fastlane or a week after so and they have Lesnar, turn face, and they have, because I mean he's been getting a lot of face reactions. Obviously he's that type guy as far as the old school type character. A lot of the older fans are behind him and stuff like that. So and I could see that the way he's been acting around and the way he's been kind of carrying himself, and Reigns the way he's been carrying himself. So we could see that go down and maybe somehow turn Rollins. I really don't know how they do that, but that's a whole lot of shit that would have to end up happening. I don't really want to. You want to talk about that and then go into other shit? I really don't know. So you go ahead and talk about that. I don't really.
If we do another
shit off.
Last year with Dave winning the fucking Rumble, which was a terrible, terrible idea, and then having Reigns win it this year, it seems like they don't really trust Daniel Bryan. And I know last year, whatever. This year he's come back from injury, and you just didn't want to throw him in the WrestleMania main event and him not be 100%. This year I understand what the hell they're going with, because Roman Reigns is so hot, and everybody fucking eating his semen out of his butthole. But it's just like, I don't understand why everybody likes Roman Reigns so much. Like,
I don't think a lot of people do.
They don't, but if you look back at the Shield and how they literally had to take out Ambrose and Rollins just to fucking give Reigns fucking some kind of support, how sad is that?
I want to see everybody go back, watch those Shield matches, watch to see how much Roman Reigns doesn't do in those matches until the last 2 minutes of it. Because it's Seth Rollins and it's Dean Ambrose's work. I've said it 15 million times and I'll keep fucking saying it. Go back and watch the fucking matches. It's just fact. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose carries those fucking matches. And all those Shield matches were fucking awesome. They were fucking awesome. And that's because you have a Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose as the core of all those fucking matches carrying that shit. And you have Captain Cleanup, Roman Reigns come in, hit his fucking 2 moves of doom, and get the little cleanup work and get the pin every goddamn time. That's what you get every fucking time. He hasn't been proven. He hasn't shown anything. We've seen 17 matches with him in the fucking Big Show, and I want to just shoot myself in the fucking head every time I see that shit. There's been nothing to be proven, to be put into this spot, be even put on a spot in a singles match at a WrestleMania alone. Not only in the main event, in the fucking world title match. Just fucking pitiful.
Go on, though.
Next one. Thank you. So it should be a lot of interesting shit to be happening. Obviously, the world title situation, which should be fucking the most important thing, but right now I could give two shits about it because of just blah.
It's sad whenever
it fucking feels.
It's sad whenever your world title holder is not there every week. And I understand the Lesnar's contract's fucking. He's a fucking.
I really don't have a problem with that as much because it's kind of like the building mystique type thing too.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like the little the fucking Kraken and shit. The only time you see him is when he comes out and just destroys ass. And I think that part of it is kind of cool because it builds up the mystique and the realism of like a fucking just badass. Because that's really what they get.
I think it covers his ass whenever you have Heyman out there fucking just fucking put him on.
If he didn't have Paul Heyman to talk for him,
if they didn't have Paul, if Paul Heyman was not in this feud or not in this build up, I would not be fucking watching WrestleMania because literally Paul Heyman will make a fucking hunk of shit into a fucking masterpiece.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep.
Even if he goes with Reign, even if he stays with Lesnar, he will literally just form a hunk of fucking shit into a fucking hunk of gold.
Yeah.
And that's just the way Paul Heyman is. And we were sitting here in pre-show and or prep, whatever. And I found a list of
By the way, fuck the Predators, by the way.
I was reading a list of top 25 things WWE needs to do. And one of them was emphasize on manager. And it said the only fucking the only one only good manager out there now is a Paul Heyman. Because Zep Coulter is fucking, who knows, and there's really nobody else out there. And it said that Paul Heyman can change something from night to day. And how he words things, and how he builds something, and how he acts like he's better than everybody, talks down to him.
Yeah, and builds people up like they're just God.
He'll end up in the Hall of Fame, hands down.
Easily. I would, easily. So I mean, a lot of interesting stuff there to be built around. There could be some tosses and turning type shit going on, but I don't know. My hope is that Seth Rollins ends up as fucking world champion at the end of WrestleMania with a cash-in. That's what I'm hoping for. Obviously, a couple of the other bigger ones. We went into the Taker and Wyatt stuff. Trip and Sting is obviously other built-up type ones. Cena, which is one that is obviously a huge vocal point in any WrestleMania over the past fucking 10 years, 15 years. Which is, he's almost carrying the trend of what happened last year, which was taking a back seat. Obviously, he had that matchup in the feud that he had with Bray Wyatt, kind of shoved in the middle of the card. Fun little match, really wasn't too great. Obviously,
I think that Raw we went to wasn't it was Raw before Mania we went to where we were separated.
That was after Mania. That was the build to Extreme Rules.
That's right.
Yep, that was the build to Extreme Rules. But they had all the kids on there. Oh my god, that's fucking amazing. But yeah, so I mean, he's kind of taking a back seat. He's having this matchup at Fastlane with Rusev for the U.S. title. John Cena's first U.S. Championship match in over 10 years. Fucking crazy. No, hold on. No, yeah, because 2005 is when he won the WWE title. So I would think that's probably his first outside.
WrestleMania 20 was.
That was WrestleMania 21. Yeah. So yeah, WrestleMania 21 is when him and Dave both won the title.
I was gonna say WrestleMania 20 is whenever him and Big Show had the first match.
Oh god, yep. And that was for the U.S. title. So yeah, be the first U.S. Championship match in 11 years at a WrestleMania for John Cena, which is interesting to see that. A lot of people are saying it could be maybe put it on him and have him, take the U.S. title back from the fucking evil Russian and this and that. It's a big clusterfuck to me. I think the match could be really good. There could be some solid stuff. P.S. What the fuck is wrong with his eye? He got it, I think, injured. Have you seen his eye? He got it injured at a house show, I think.
No, Lesnar hit it, and then it got injured at a house show.
Or something? It just looks nasty.
Who was it? It was somebody, and they did a move, and somebody's finger got poked in his eye, and scratched something.
It just looks nasty as shit. But kind of taking it now, being the old man, the veteran of the roster.
Just sad is that?
So fucking funny how it just came out there. I'm just like, really, John? Come on. But interesting to see that this was one that they were talking about possibly happening at WrestleMania, happening at Fastlane, could possibly again go down at WrestleMania. So interesting to see the kind of backseat taken, which to me is just a sign of building that next new star in a Roman Reigns and getting it to where you're not focusing on a John Cena in a super high quality match. Because if you have John Cena up there in that high profile match and then you have a Roman Reigns win the title, you're just like, well, then again, we're going to be any fucking time that, if it ends up going down Roman Reigns with the title. But kind of taking the focus off Cena so it looks like this is the guy. Like, that's the new fucking top star type thing. And, not having Cena in a super high-profile matchup kind of makes it to where it, brings it back down to where it's not so close, I guess. But then again, it's not even close by fucking far. But having him down in the kind of mid-card level obviously makes it easier for Reigns, which they have to do everything. Put fucking tricycles on that son of a bitch and a fucking diaper.
You mean training wheels?
Training wheels, tricycles.
Tricycles?
Motherfucker's got 4 fucking wheels on that bitch.
You mean 6? Tricycle has 3 wheels, okay.
Why do you have 6? Did he already have 3?
You said tricycles.
Tricycles.
Emphasize with the
motherfucker's got 6 wheels on his ass. Put the training wheels and a diaper on the son of a bitch. Be interesting to see Cena kind of taking the step down and kind of the back seat angle. It looks like it's going again into this WrestleMania. A lot of another one really big talking about, which is hopefully an incoming or hopefully a
upcoming
forthcoming. Is that the right word? Maybe. Yeah. Return of a Randy Orton, which we were all looking forward to with what he was showing before his departure, which was really unfortunate because God, he was getting to be back towards that where you gave a shit about Randy Orton, which is what we all want to do, and definitely what I want to do, because I just feel like, what a Randy Orton can provide is some great stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to see that with obviously what he was doing, turning on the Authority and the face run he was going, and started to really spark something with Randy Orton, and then just got halted. And it was like, shit, I really wanted to see where that was going. So should be a lot of stuff. There's talk of him and Rollins. That's a show-stealing fucking quality type matchup that you could have at WrestleMania there. Which would be some good stuff. Another one we need to talk about as far as show stealing type thing, which could end up going down if you don't have a triple threat in the main event, which is Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler, which is what Daniel Bryan went to management and requested. He's like, give me Dolph Ziggler. We'll go out there and nothing will be able to follow us because quality-wise, probably not. If you give them fucking 15 to 20, good luck following that because those are just can't say enough about the in-ring quality that could be produced in that matchup, which would be some great stuff to see. But if you put that as the show opener and have that be the best fucking opener to a WrestleMania, well, it would be hard to top last year's too, but one of the best WrestleMania openers ever.
But if you do that with the last 4 matches you just said, with the Rollins, Orton, and Dolph and Daniel Bryan, it pretty much just emphasizes that they do not have any faith in Roman Reigns. And if you, like J-Man said, since I didn't get talked about Cena,
sorry.
If you have to drop him down to take the spotlight away from him, just so everyone can focus on the Roman Reigns and how fucking epic he is as a wrestler, and you have to have these undercard matches that will literally just change the emphasis of WrestleMania, where it was down at a C level, jump back up to a B+ level because of the work that Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler or Orton and Rollins, or even if they do something in the tag division with the Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, where you have to bring these guys up to build up underneath you, so if fucking Roman Reigns dies somehow... God.
Are you going to?
No, I'm good. But if he fucking just falls in his face during the main event, they don't be like, what the fuck was that? Why we watch this on WrestleMania? And then people will be talking about man, look at that undercard match. Look at this card match. Look type shit. So. Right,
yeah, that's definitely true. You had a Dolph Ziggler and a Daniel Bryan to your mid card as far as WrestleMania goes.
Or even a sub main.
Yeah, can't get much better than that shit. Other titles. So the U.S. one would be wrapped up with probably Cena and Rusev. The IC title, which is looking like what it's going to be going down with Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. Kind of just not really just falling off with a Dean Ambrose with what they've been doing lately. Haven't really been focused much. We've talked numerous times before, Quaddy and also Ryan, when we were sitting watching pay-per-views, this and that, whatever the hell. Talking about the cartoonish nature of Dean Ambrose's character is it's too much. It's just very I feel like he should just be color and animated. Like, it's just so overdone. His promos, especially in that that Rollins feud towards the end of 2014, it's just so cartoonish. It's just so obnoxious. It needs to be a lot grittier. It needs to be a lot just not what they're doing. They need to put him in fucking trunks and stop wearing goddamn jeans and a fucking t-shirt to wrestle in.
I feel like
unfortunate.
I feel like Dean Ambrose is like he said, character is like a Kenny Omega almost.
It's very cartoonish. Yeah.
And like Kenny Omega is like the superhero, and
Kenny Omega is like the face version of Dean Ambrose's heel version.
Exactly, and I'm trying to get behind Dean Ambrose because I've always enjoyed him and how he's been so unpredictable.
Yeah.
But this thing with Wade Barrett, it's just like, what?
Yeah, I don't have too much intrigue in that. I think quality of match could be good, but yeah, again, the BNC thing with ripping off TMZ backstage, it's just dumb. Barrett's character was hotter than hell before he got injured, came back, and it's just kind of like people didn't care anymore. And then having him beat Dolph as soon as he came back in for the IC title, I'm just like, I really don't care. It's not too much. Not that I don't care about a Barrett and what his, this and that. I guess I don't. I don't know. I guess I don't care that much. But as far as Dean Ambrose, we definitely do care. And I think the tide will start to turn once they turn him heel. I think this is a perfect time to turn him heel because he's been doing nothing. He really has nothing built up behind him. And I think he's far enough away from the Shield and all the interaction with those guys. Seth Rollins has gone to do his amazing shit and, his great stuff. And Reigns has gone on to do his absolute opposite of that type stuff. So I don't know. I think that's when the tides are going to turn and you're going to see a more grittier version of what it is and more of what we've seen from a Jon Moxley and not what we've seen lately from a Dean Ambrose. Because that's what we want to see and that's what we know that character can provide. Because it's basically like a street, like fucking hard-ass version of a Bray Wyatt. If you haven't seen a Jon Moxley, it's a very cryptic type, which a lot of people just say, and me as well, of what before he came into there, it's basically like Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, it's basically a street version of fucking Joker. I mean, that's what it basically was. And you think of that, and if you guys haven't seen that before, you're like, damn, wish it was more like that. Yeah, we do too. Because that character was fucking awesome. The cryptic nature of his promos, a very kind of like almost a New Age Raven too, almost. Kind of very cryptic, very metaphorical in the way he kind of cuts his promos now. Very cartoonish, very animated, very no. I don't want to see that anymore. So I think it could work as a face. I think they tried to do it. If they did it coming out like the anti-hero type thing and not being so jokey and stupid and shit, which is what they're making him do, which is dumb. It's unfortunate. I think they'd get behind that. I think that'd be some good stuff too. Want to talk about that? You already talked about it. I talked about Ambrose. That's cool. Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. I guess we'll save those two big ones for the last two. Two partner tag team type things that could be building towards possible main event, possible WrestleMania, at least pre-show type shit maybe, which is Golden Stardust kind of breakup and Miz and Sandow's breakup. Could say I'm really not intrigued about either of them, whether or not the build gets a little more interesting. I know Quaddy was saying that Dusty is going to be on tomorrow's edition of Raw, which hopefully I'll be able to catch some way or another. I don't know where I'm going to be at. Well, in Chicago for sure, but as far as where I'm going to be at. Because I think with what they've been showing lately with these two, where Goldust keeps realizing like, okay, what the hell's going on with him? Hey, Cody, what the fuck are you doing? And Stardust keeps, don't say Cody, Cody's dead, all this kind of shit. So if they turn it into something where they strip the characters away and they kind of wipe the slate clean and it's Dustin Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, very raw, very gritty, maybe even have Dusty as the ref, I'd be all over that. That would be some really great stuff that could rejuvenate Cody Rhodes' career, that could give a great send-off to Dustin Rhodes. So I just think that is the perfect full circle way to kind of get this character-y Golden Stardust type shit to go the fuck away, because I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see a top young type talent and a Cody Rhodes and where he was a couple years ago, which is sad to say because it's just dwindling fucking away doing this stupid ass Stardust shit. Get back onto being fucking Cody Rhodes and being a great young talent that's a great in-ring worker and that can carry his own. And you get him in there with his brother, a very gritty. I just feel like almost like a fucking bull rope or like a street fight type. You know what I'm saying? Like something very just gritty and just fucking. Like I don't know, very just has some meat on it. I just feel like that kind of feud going into a WrestleMania where you just strip these fucking bullshit characters away and be like, fuck this, I'm not gonna paint my fucking face, I'm gonna go in there and fight my brother type thing. That's the grittiness I want to see. If they pull that off, I think that'd be really fucking cool. A fucking Texas bull rope type fucking match or something, or that'd be fucking badass to see that.
Yeah, I think if you do that type of stuff, that'll be like following his father's footsteps with Dusty, because that's what his dad used to be always famous for. But even if they do like a parking lot brawl or parking lot street fight or like something like a no DQ or something where even like a steel cage match where everything's gonna be stuck in there, like something like that where like James says, clean everything, get everybody, no characters, no nothing, and just be like, you face your brother, winner stays, loser leaves, right? Because then you can emphasize more on Goldust's like retirement, because he's been talking about it for years, and then you could, like James said, just boost Cody back up to where he was, because he's like been falling off the pen. Like he had tag titles for a while, and 2-3 years ago we were talking about him in a world title match, and now could you see that? Maybe if he changed his character, because I really don't think WWE would be behind Stardust as a champion anywhere, unless you're a tag champ. No. So what was the other one?
Well, yeah, I wanted to say one more thing because I'm really intrigued by that. Now we're talking about that. Yeah, I've just had this thought in my mind. If you add that, because it's been so gimmicky and so character and so colorful and blah 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 blah. If you spin that 180, and I think adding Dusty in is a perfect example of that. You have just a very gritty, raw, natural setup to a brotherly type fucking feud that you have set up there, which is a natural thing to do in professional wrestling. And you have the natural placement to give Dustin a great send-off and a great quality, WrestleMania type moment. You can end up going put him in the Hall of Fame next year or whatever. And then you build back up the career of Cody Rhodes, because it was on a great path around 2011, 2012, and then you had the great tag run with him, and then you just added this other bullshit and started to fall off. You build back Cody Rhodes up, because I think people have forgotten about him. You literally just think Stardust now, and that's sad. I don't. I think, why is Cody... every time I see him, I'm like, God, Cody's such an idiot. Like, he's acting like such a goof right now. Like, what the fuck is so... I mean, he's hilarious with what he's been doing with his character, but I want to see Cody Rhodes back. I want to see a young fucking talent that I enjoyed to watch. We're both Cody Rhodes fans, and I think he can definitely get a great boost back into being Cody Rhodes with a great, raw, gritty setup to a nice fucking street fight or bull rope or no DQ type match or something like that, with Dusty involved or whatever. I think I would love to see that. I think that would be some great stuff, and I think they could pull it off fucking flawlessly. I think it would be really quality. The other one that I don't give a shit about, which is Miz and Sandow, obviously doing the whole double thing, it just makes me want to throw up even just thinking about it. It's just so tiring and drawn out and just blah. I just don't want to fucking see it anymore. Another guy that hopefully can get a boost from this is Damian Sandow, get back onto his thing. The one funny thing that they could break apart if they want to keep going with the comedic type thing is, which we were talking about, which is have a match to where, because Sandow always just duplicates what Miz does, is they're both doing offensive moves to each other because Sandow always does what Miz does. So they're just like either kicking each other or punching each other. They both go to the top rope at the same time, do the same fucking moves. I think that'd be fucking hilarious to see that, but I don't want to see that at WrestleMania.
Pre-show.
Yeah, pre-show. But yeah, hopefully Sandow could get back on a track to where he could, maybe get a different character. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. I don't think he can go back to the, intelligent, smarter than everybody, blah, blah, type character he was. But that should be interesting to see what goes down with that.
I'm done with this feud. I'm done with this tag team. It was never... I'm always been a Sandow fan. Miz, I've never really been behind. Really just done with it. I think Miz is pretty much past his time. Unless he leave for a while, or... Even when he left and came back, it wasn't even that good.
There's been no progression of his character. I mean, back in 2011 when he got into that main event match, which shouldn't have been his fucking match, that was CM Punk and John Cena's main event. But his character was fresh. It was new. It felt cool. It felt new.
You're behind him.
I was behind it. I think we all were. If you look back at some of those fucking videos and shit. I mean, you could go back and watch some of those going into pre-WrestleMania 27 type matches, we were behind The Miz, and we enjoyed it, what he was doing, and the new feel of his character. His in-ring work has always just been subpar. But as far as the character goes and how he carried himself and this and that, it just felt fresh. It felt good at the time, which was 4 years ago. But now, there's no progression. Nothing has changed. It's just been the same for 4 years, and it's just like, bleh, don't care.
With Standout, his character before was brilliant, and then I don't know if like he pissed off creative or something, and became a stunt double.
Yeah.
And now he's just personal.
A couple other things, Divas type stuff. Hopefully Paige gets the title. Charlotte just dropping the title over in NXT. That could be a sign of a good thing to come. Possibly adding her into
oh my God,
the main roster. Charlotte and Paige at WrestleMania. Get our first legit women's fucking match since I would probably say WrestleMania 22 with Mickey and Trish.
What's up?
23, you had all the Playboy bullshit with like Ashley and Melina, I want to say.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you know.
24, you had the Snoop Dogg fucking with the lights turned off in the middle of the match.
Oh, that's right.
That was fucking hilarious. 25, you had the fucking Battle Royal with Santina.
Oh, that's right.
Santina. Or I think that was her name.
Yeah.
That was what Santina or some chick. 26, like a 6-chick tag match. I remember, I think 26 was the one where Vicky did the frog splash, and she did the old Eddie thing, and everybody was laughing their ass off because it was terrible. She like landed on her feet. 27,
I was gonna say
Snooki. Snooki was at 27. There you go. I don't know. Trish wrestled at that one. It's Trish and Snooki. And I don't know who else.
It was Kelly, what's her name?
Kelly may have been there?
No, Kelly,
Layla?
the one who broke her rib and doesn't know how to wrestle.
Alicia?
No, she was like a talk show host.
Oh, Maria Menounos?
There you go.
She was at 28. Maria Menounos was. That was right. Another one. So yeah, since WrestleMania 22, have a fucking legit wrestling women's match at fucking WrestleMania. And matter of fact, don't make it for the Divas title, make it for the women's title. Because fuck that Diva shit. We're going to have a women's fucking championship match at WrestleMania with Paige and Charlotte. Everybody behind that? We sure the fuck are.
Because even if you bring in a Paige and you can have like Paige had a championship and then Charlotte have it, you could do something with what's her name? Natalia and what's her name? Charlotte? And have that at like a fucking WrestleMania, or have that at what's after WrestleMania nowadays?
Stream Rules.
Huh?
Stream Rules.
Do something with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think that'd be great to see a Paige and Charlotte. That could be a feud for years to come. Battle Royal. There's talk about doing the Andre the Giant Battle Royal again, as far as the winner goes, or who they could put in that to really do anything.
The New Day.
Oh, God.
Like, see, I think these Battle Royals, I love them sometimes, but some of the times...
Last year worked awesome with Cesaro. That was awesome.
It blew him up, and then he...
And they did nothing.
And then he kind of fell off. Now he's kind of... And like I said earlier, with the tag, you could do something with Usos and them, or Usos
Ascension.
And... The Ascension? Aren't those guys not good?
That's what everybody wants to tell you. Surely they haven't delivered anything great by any means, but character-wise, I think they're fucking it doesn't carry over in NXT. That's the only thing that's unfortunate. But Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, I think the Brass Ring Club they're being called, or whatever they're calling themselves, I think that could be a great thing you could do with them, the Usos. I think their match at fucking Fastlane is going to be awesome. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd against the Usos. I think that could be some great stuff. But carry something over. We just so want to see some four-way... Like, you took the Money in the Bank ladder match away from WrestleMania, which was another thing he was reading an article, which I fully believe they should make that a backup part of WrestleMania. They make it into a pay-per-view, which is cool, and that pay-per-view is always really fun. But you don't have a ladder involved in WrestleManias anymore. Put some fucking gimmick on the tag titles. Do the fucking Cesaro and Tyson Kidd and the Usos and fucking Ascension and... Fucking, bring the Lucha Dragons up and have them be in some sort of thing. I can't think of any other tag teams. Fucking,
Los Mayores.
Hell yeah. And you put them in, put in 4 fucking teams. Make sure the Usos and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro in there, because goddamn, that'd be fucking awesome to see that.
What are the tag teams?
But yeah, hopefully get some kind of cool tag shit involved with Mania. NXT's involvement. There's been a lot of discussion all night lately on whether NXT will be involved in WrestleMania in some sort of way. We finally saw at least a preview package video on a Raw leading into Wednesday's Rival show, which was another fucking stellar show from NXT. You can't say enough. Go check out J-Man's solo review for that one.
Solo masturbation time.
I still need to check a lot of those, watch a lot of those matches again because they're just awesome. The final 3 matches on that card is it's gonna be hard to really find a show that's gonna stack 3 matches at the end of that card away. I knew it because it was stellar. But their involvement, I mean, you could easily see some sort of match to showcase a lot of their talent.
Do battle royal with that.
Yeah, what we were talking.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yep. Having a battle royal with all the NXT guys, and the winner of it gets a shot on the main roster. That'd be fun to see. Do you have that be the pre-show? Fucking, that'd be a great way to start out the show.
Have a chance to, like, even the IC title.
Or if they just want to just go full bore and just put the NXT title on the line and have, a long, drawn-out process leading into WrestleMania where Sami Zayn comes back in and challenges Kevin Owens for the title.
And have everybody
and
die.
And then have your pre-show just totally
have the NXT title match be better than the WWE.
Or have that on the main fucking show. Like, how awesome would that be? Like, looking back and having that be the first NXT, have it be kind of some, not really an invasion-y type thing, but have it to be some sort of, influx of talent where you're just, a lot of the new, especially at a WrestleMania type atmosphere, with the crowd that's at WrestleMania, they would eat that shit up, and they would be fucking all over that, and that'd be fucking awesome. So that'd be great to see that. And obviously, the 2 other big ones outside of the main event, which is, like we were saying, is kind of faltering, is Triple H and Sting and Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. Obviously, The Undertaker's involvement. We were talking with Bray, talking about Bray Wyatt, talking with Bray, and talking about what's going on with him. Talking about his involvement. A lot of things that I've been reading online is saying Taker's been in god awful shape, this and that, since we've seen him last at WrestleMania 30. But saying he's not in quality shape, and who knows if he's going to be going, and we haven't seen anything from him yet. But the sign of them leading in all these promos, and they've carried it on since the Royal Rumble with what they've been doing with Bray Wyatt. To me, that's a sign this is going to go down. So, like we said when we were talking about Bray Wyatt, can't fucking wait for that shit to go down.
I already said it.
Yeah, he equals that same sentiment. And Triple H and Sting. Obviously, what we were talking about was Sting, and like I was saying, I think it's a lot of people don't want to see it. A lot of people this and that saying, well, Sting's quality of blah, 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 blah. I think getting him in there a trip, I think Sting getting himself in better shape, and I think readying himself for his first ever WrestleMania appearance, his first ever WrestleMania matchup in a very high-profile matchup. I think it'll be quality. I don't think it's going to be great by any means, but I think it'll be quality. And I think it'll serve a purpose, and I think it'll be there, and I think it, will be a good representation of what they can do with Sting in 2015. Because with a lot of other people, I don't think it'll pull off right. But I think Tripp is a guy that brings it out to everybody, and especially now, with what great shape he's in and what great atmosphere he provides and the quality that he's been putting into his work. He's a craftsman, and he is just a ring general in the nth degree. And I don't give a shit what anybody fucking says. Look at the man's fucking track work and look at his quality of work. I mean, it's bar none. One of the best ever. So I think easily could be some quality stuff with Tripp pulling it out of a Sting, and hopefully Sting getting in some good shape. And I really can't wait for Sting's entrance at WrestleMania. That was another thing that we forgot to talk about with Sting, was not using his fucking original entrance theme from WCW, which was one of the best and fucking coolest entrance themes ever. If you had a reversion of what they did at Starrcade 97, where they even had like the little girl's voice talking over the fucking thing, and the Starrcade's entrance was fucking amazing. And then the debacle that fucking match turned into. But God, just having that with the fuck. Anybody who hasn't seen that, go on YouTube, type in Sting Starrcade 97 entrance or whatever. Check that shit out because it's fucking awesome with like the fucking girl talking about the man that lurks in the shadow, whatever the fuck she talks about. But that was kind of unfortunate to see that they did a reversion of it. I wish they'd have kept it with the original. I think that'd have been really cool. But a lot of stuff to still play out over the next month and a half leading into WrestleMania, which will be happening at the end of March for the first time in a while. Usually the beginning of April, but March 29th, I think. But on paper, now that I'm looking at it, now that we're kind of delving into it and diving into it and kind of dissecting a little more, there's a lot of quality stuff here. I mean, the main event, who knows what that turns into. A Taker Wyatt is just going to be a spectacle. There you go right there. But I think you still need to have the fucking little girls listen real fast. Taker Wyatt, which would be a spectacle. Tripp and Sting, I think... There it was. Just look that shit up, guys. Probably can't hear here. Rollins and Orton, which could be a show-stealing effort. You have a possibility of a Rollins cash-in. Cena's involvement, who the fuck knows. You have the 2 little tag team breakups. I'm hoping they go with the route of what we were talking about with Cody and Goldust, which I think would be fucking awesome. Battle Royal, possibly. Ambrose and Barrett, as far as the mid-card type thing, you kind of forget about. Could still be some decent quality stuff. And Ziggler and Bryan, which is a show-stealing quality match on any fucking card anywhere on the planet. So yeah, a lot of quality stuff that could come out of here with what a lot of people were shitting on, which is the main reason, which is your main event scene for the title, which is the biggest reason why you're shitting on it. But it's WrestleMania. We're going to be all over it, and coming up we're going to be all over it too. And that sounded really gay. I mean, it's coming over. We're going to be coming over all of it.
Coming.
What? But yeah, so
I think it's time to play hockey again.
it is. Look for our Fastlane preview coming up at the end of February, and then we also have we'll have a Ring of Honor preview in some form or fashion for the 13th anniversary show. What else is coming up? I guess Fastlane is the next thing. So yeah,
Ring of Honor after that,
and then Ring of Honor after that. So we'll have some stuff for you soon, and yeah, I definitely wanted to just get this kind of early WrestleMania type talk out there, and what looks like they're kind of setting up, which still has a lot more setup to be involved. Definitely look for the Raw after Fastlane is always, well, usually the Raw after Chamber is always something really intriguing for possible Taker return, or a lot more setup going into, obviously that's when you start to build towards WrestleMania. So for a lot of stuff to be going down after that one. But before that, look for our Fastlane preview and review coming up at the end of February. Yeah. Now it's time for me and Quaddy to go change the roster so we don't get our fucking asses kicked by the goddamn Predators.
And then we're gonna
fucking NHL game.
And then me and J-Man get snowed in together and we'll...
What?
What?
That sounded like it was going super gay. Super gay rap.
Super gay?
Super gay, yo.
Like Tiger Woods on his knees.
Just...
Yeah!
Absolute opposite of that.
Or Bill Cosby eating pudding.
Eating ponies?
Yeah, eating ponies. And pudding.
Eating pony pudding.
Eating pony pudding.
Eating some pony pudding, bud.
Make me whop your ass.
Really racist, Kyle. I'm sorry. Does he still watch?
I don't know.
Yeah,
he likes Roman Reigns, so...
Ooh, he's...
If you watch Kyle, give us a comment.
Getting excited. Could go meet Kyle. Going up to Chi-Town.
Hey, we never did that. That's not fair.
Oh, yeah.
He likes me more.
Does he?
Yeah, he told me.
You heard that? No. It's all right. This has probably been an hour.
What about our Virgil? Where you at? Yeah, home skillet.
We are bullies. Okay, we can't do that. Bullies.
Yeah, we didn't. She wanted pictures of us.
That's weird. Go check. Yeah. By the way, go check out Instant Wrestling. I said Instant Wrestling Pulses. Instant Wrestling Reports Facebook fan page. That's shit still up. Is that up there? No.
Was it IWR time?
I don't know. She felt like she was a part
of it.
What
about Pro Wrestling Fan Show? And you just shit your pants.
I did. It smells really bad.
Oh God.
You guys had smell vision right now.
Oh Lord.
Actually, you don't.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Everybody's watching or done watching already anyway.
Alright. I think it cut off like whenever.
Probably did.
Like an hour ago.
Oh God damn it.
Hopefully this is recording.
There's people that watch our show. That's scary. That is really scary.
I'm about to die over here, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I gotta poop that. Also.
It's the Chinese last night, man. Should go.
I really want Chinese now.
Buffet and O'Fallon.
Again, so we spend like $90 a plate.
Get like a pound of food for like $7. You're like, oh, that's $7. I was like, fucking A, I love this place. This place is shit.
How much is for a sucky?
Okay, didn't go. No. God damn it. Didn't say that.
I didn't say anything else bad.
Didn't say that.
Crab Lagoon!
Ah, fuck. This will now wrap up our Pulse Topix show. Yeah. And for my partner Quaddy, I am J-Man, and thank all of you for watching another edition of the Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, Professional Wrestling World.
Where you at, home skill?